God said you would die if you stay in that relationship, if you stay silent. And I believed my Creator. That's why I'm speaking tonight. It's C.O.C.O Wisdom Wednesday. I'm Dada, financial healing strategist, founder of LD Creates, and I'm the creator of the C.O.C.O method, where you claim your pain, you own your pain. Use that pain to create an overflow from it. Under this supermoon, it only feels right for us to release. It took a lot of courage and a lot of strength to get here. I'm releasing to you all, speaking to you on our very first episode. So tonight, under divine timing, we speak truth about the invisible weapon that destroys homes from the inside out: financial abuse. Let's get into what financial abuse really is. It doesn't always look like somebody taking your debit card. It starts as influence. It sounds like love. It's love bombing. It's manipulation. It's a leash made of money. Sometimes the woman is the breadwinner, right? Paying all of the bills. Yet the man has all control of the money. Or perhaps sometimes in an intimate partner relationships, somebody has all control of all the passwords. Either way, it's bondage, just dressed up as partnership. Financial abuse doesn't always look like somebody stealing your money. Sometimes it looks like help. I got you. Don't worry about it. Access, it's not a partnership. It's power imbalance. But when the hours means nothing is yours, that's control. According to the National Network to End Domestic Violence, 99% of domestic violence cases include financial abuse. And it doesn't just happen in romantic relationships. Parents controlling their children's money, elders deciding who eats and what dreams are allowed. At the end of the day, control wrapped in comfort, it's still control. When one person manages the money, the passwords, the decisions, that's generational economic control, and we carry that pain into adulthood without even realizing it. I teach trauma-informed, fate-rooted financial healing so that survivors can rebuild from experience, not believe that they need to start over from scratch. Financial abuse doesn't always look like theft, Sometimes it sounds like love. I got you. You don't have to work. What's mine is ours. But when ours means nothing is yours, that's control, not care. 99% of domestic violence situations include financial control. That's straight from the National Network to End Domestic Violence. It starts in families too. This is all intimate partner relationships. Parents controlling children's homes, children's income, deciding who deserves resources. That's generational economic trauma in disguise. Right now, look around you. Life has slowed down. The economy's shifting, prices are rising, jobs are unstable. A lot of people have gone into panic mode. Life right now has slowed down for so many people. Businesses are closing. People are, at risk for housing, and we know there's a lot of food insecurities going around. During the holidays, domestic violence and depression it increases. Families are often feel pressured around the holidays, obviously, to buy things that they really can't afford to spend the money on just to prove that they're okay. And that pressure just tends to increase the toxicity in homes that were already struggling with their own generational financial habits, or in this case, financial abuse, possibly just domestic violence on its own, where, it could be physical. But in financial abuse, there's a lot of scars that are worn on all parties in the family, not just the adults or the parties that's involved, but the children. These children grow up when they become adults. I can tell you about situations that I remember when I was a child, and these things, they stay, they don't leave quickly. Trauma-informed research shows financial stress changes your brain chemistry. It keeps you in fight or flight. And when survival becomes normal, peace feels impossible. That's why we talk about this, because you're not crazy. You're conditioned to cope with chaos. This is why we're speaking about it. Because you're conditioned to believe it's normal. No, you're conditioned to believe that chaos is life and that that's what peace is. When God makes us uncomfortable to make us comfortable. I know this story very well. For years, I was a devoted wife, I'm still today an amazing mom. I'm the dopest mom on earth. No shade to all of you mothers out there that are amazing goddesses and mothers yourselves. But my life was dedicated to these children. I forgot about myself. I wasn't really loving me. And as a wife, I gave all of my time, my energy, and my services, not just to my family, but to the betterment of our business. Years later, my ex-husband left, abandoned us. And that pain took me from a place I never thought I could get out of. But that day, when he left, he didn't really tell me about it. He told others. But what I understood was, as God told me I would die, God protected me by telling him he needs to leave to do better for us, or for us to be in a better place. I'm eternally grateful because in addition to all of those situations that I had gone through, that rental business, he used it as leverage, as collateral to keep tabs on me, or to try to attempt to sabotage what is post-separation abuse. But today, that business that I cultivated from the ground up as a wife that was told by my ex-husband, I'm just an investment, I decided to dissolve the business. And today I am the founder and creator of LD Creates. I've created a methodology called C.O.C.O. C.O.C.O stands for Claim, Own, Create, Overflow. And with the C.O.C.O method, we're using our pain. A lot of times when we crash out, people expect us to stay hush and to stay quiet, when you crash out, you cash out. So the goal behind the C.O.C.O methodology is to take people that have gone through trauma, that have gone through real abuse, and help them to truly release, to be mindful, and to focus on money from a different perspective, so that you can release the anxieties and the fears behind it that are usually attached to trauma and abuse that comes from domestic violence and intimate partner relationships. Now, that truth hit me hard. That's when my pain went from unregulated, and I had my own issues with anger at one point, and we'll leave that story for another episode. I finally learned how to alchemize my pain. And I will tell you, oftentimes pain doesn't necessarily leave, it just sits with us. But it's there for a lesson. It's there for us to elevate, and that's exactly what I did. So the C.O.C.O method was forged out of the pain that I had gone through from not just the financial abuse or domestic violence that I had gone through in my relationship, but it also stemmed from generational traumas and childhood emotional and mental abuse that basically created the person that you see today in front of you. That's how LD Creates and C.O.C.O method was born. Claim your pain, own it, create from it, and you will always, always, always overflow abundantly. Now, financial abuse, it isolates you on purpose. You stop calling friends. You probably won't even respond to family. And the hardest part of it all is that you stop trusting your own instincts. You start putting faith and trust into the person that you are in this intimate partnership with. God gave us life. You are meant to love yourself before everyone else, but this people-pleasing thing, it just becomes like a sickness. And without insight, without the right guidance, sometimes these things are just so difficult to see. It's a warfare in itself. Healing is relearning choice. Healing is education. Healing is ownership. You got to own your pain. You got to claim it. All those scars the world can't see, that's your spirit feeling them. And healing is unlearning. That's the overflow phase. When you finally see that your survival, it was never your identity. Your resilience was. If you're listening right now, this message found you for a reason. You're not starting over from zero. You're starting from wisdom. My team and I right now are currently in the building stages of something that we're calling the Overflow Circle. And I'm looking for my 45 founders. It's for the women and children that are ready to step out of isolation and speak, because silence destroys, but speaking truly restores. Here's the thing, once we reach our 45 founders, the circle will be permanently closed. It's not really a covenant. It's not like we're opening and letting it back in. This is for people that are really serious about taking the first steps and learning how to alchemize and how to truly monetize even from your pain. Something powerful is dropping on Black Friday. And if this message resonated with you, do me a favor. Click the link in my bio, right? And sign up. Join the Overflow Circle. Looking for my first 45. And if you're in danger tonight, please call 911. Or you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or text START to 88788. You're not weak, you're not broken, you're awakening. I'm Dada, financial strategist, founder of LD Creates and the C.O.C.O method. And tonight, under the supermoon, thank you for listening to me on our first C.O.C.O Wisdom Welcome Wednesday.